So Dave Leave shared his updated view on Lemonade in a recent discussion with Emmett Peppers. I got a ton of respect for Dave, and he was completely correct on two huge plays, Apple and then Tesla. And overall, I just respect his very balanced thinking. But I do have some counterpoints to make that I want to make in this video. So let's dive into what Dave said first of all, and then I'll share my perspective. And if you want to support my channel, feel free to join my Patreon. For my Patreon members, my full Lemonade model is available there.
Yeah, Lemonade. I'm not thrilled about Lemonade actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have a small position, but the product kind of differentiation isn't as strong as I want it to be in a product.
From a cost perspective, you mean?
No, just like, am I dying to get Lemonade insurance?
Of course not.
Over Geico or something, right?
Yeah.
Let's say for your homeowner's insurance or your auto insurance, are you like, oh my gosh, I gotta get Lemonade over Geico? It's like, I don't know, it's like, it's a tough one, you've got to have like that, there's got to be something, and so far Lemonade has been kind of like the low cost renter's insurance and whatever, pet insurance, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how you get that product differentiation that Lemonade needs to fuel like super fast growth, right?
It's a big risk. Yeah.
And it's like usually, in a new field, you might do like new technology or something, right? But it's like, yeah, I'm a little skeptical on the exact, value that Lemonade's tech. I understand it does, they're efficient, they do claims fast, signups fast, all this stuff. But it's like, is that really enough when these other insurance companies are going through kind of their own tech changes? And, some of these insurance companies aren't terrible. Like I have Geico and I call them up, they answer the phone, they like change this. It's like.
Yeah. So Dave's main point is that Lemonade's product differentiation just isn't good enough. And I get what he's saying. I mean, on the surface, it's kind of like, what's the difference? What's the big deal? It's just an insurance policy. And I can also see where Dave gets this perspective from, this product differentiation, how important that is. Because if you know his story, he really went all in on two major investments, Apple and the Apple app ecosystem, and then Tesla. And the product differentiation for the iPhone and Tesla vehicles, including those first Model S's, that was and is very obvious. A huge product differentiation, easy decision to go, I'm really going all in on this investment. But just because Lemonade has less obvious product differentiation now, or you might be able to argue it has less product differentiation now, doesn't mean it couldn't be a huge multi-bagger investment. And here are some counterpoints I want to expand on. Lemonade has done a really good job of building really the ideal product and platform that you could have. It's so socially impactful, it's artistic, it's fluid, it has this very simple platform. They can efficiently target best customers from it. There's no middlemen, there's no sales or sales agents. It's extremely convenient for customers. So I really think what they have is pretty much as good as you could get for an insurance product. I don't know if you could really dream up something that would even be more revolutionary or better than what Lemonade has done. So that's already, I think, in their favor. They're really hitting the ideal. Second point I want to make is that Lemonade's efficient overhead allows them to attract customers in unloved insurance realms, such as renter's insurance, which is a huge compounding advantage over time. This is something I think that's overlooked or misunderstood, especially if you're just comparing Lemonade to a company like Geico, like maybe somebody like Dave. He's probably got a number of insurance products, and he can look at what Geico has and say, yeah, that's great. For my experience, Geico covers all my needs. Wonderful. But for somebody else who's maybe much younger in life, has less things to buy insurance for, but needs a very niche insurance product, a more niche insurance product, such as renter's insurance, maybe only at $5, $10 per month of insurance premium. For them, Lemonade offers a much, much better product because the pricing is significantly better. And it's really easy, seamless. And like I said, they really is the most ideal product possible. And this is really powerful compounding advantage over time for Lemonade that you cannot compare to a company like Geico right now, because these customers, some of them, they're paying literally $5 a month to Lemonade in premium. And Lemonade has a chance to also see with these customers who's the most responsible, who has the lowest risk or less risk of an insurance claim. And those good, really select choice customers, if they can grow with them over time, some of them, their premium is going to go from $5 a month to easily, $50 a month, maybe even $500 a month. So they could 10 to 100x their premium for some of these customers, and especially the choicest customers, the best customers that they feel have the lowest risk of actually having a claim. They can really try and attract and keep and win those customers, which could result in a huge compounding advantage over time that you're not going to see now, and you're especially not going to see if you're just kind of comparing, like your home insurance with Geico or your car insurance with Geico to Lemonade's home or car insurance. This leads to my third point I want to make, which is Lemonade's product could become significantly better over time for good customers. And this is an important point to realize or make about insurance companies, that insurance companies don't actually want every customer. They do not want maximum growth. They really want all the customers they feel have a balanced or regular amount of customer risk or better. Because there's going to be a certain select amount of the population that offers a much higher customer risk, much more likely to get an accident or have their house burned down or flooded or etc., or just less responsible, more challenges in their life, more things going on, and more likely could have a major claim, which is super costly to you as an insurer, super costly to everyone else in the insurance pool who are good customers. So Lemonade actually doesn't want every customer, doesn't want maximum growth. They want to grow with the best customers, what I call good customers, or your low risk customers that are very responsible people, are low chance of making a claim. And Lemonade's product can become significantly better, more and more differentiated for these good customers over time for two reasons. Number one, because kind of what I mentioned in the last point, some of these customers are going to start off with very low premium products, and Lemonade is going to have a history of growing with these customers and can continue to attract these customers and say, yeah, we're going to make sure you have the best rates possible, the best experience possible, the best bundling discount possible for you. And the second reason why Lemonade could become significantly better, in other words, better priced even than any other competitors, better discounted price than any other competitors, is because for these good customers, Lemonade could have more underwriting data to really prove that they are good, low-risk customers over time. And the Lemonade car could be a major factor. Just using the telematics in the app could tell Lemonade, yeah, this person is a very conservative, safe driver, and they also, go to church every morning every Sunday at 10 o'clock and then go to the golf course, versus this other person is a really reckless, fast, aggressive driver, and they also go to the bar and they're out till 3, 4, 5 a.m. On the weekends, hitting up all the bars. And that kind of person likely going to have a lot more risk in their life of having an insurance claim versus the previous person who's driving slowly, going to church on Sunday morning, et cetera, et cetera. So Lemonade's going to have that kind of underwriting data that's going to grow on each customer over time, which allows them to eventually, over time, they're going to offer a better and better product to the best customers, meaning they can offer them even more significant discounts. And the worst customers, they can kind of offer them no discounts at all or even cancel their policies with them. Finally, I want to say, as my last point, that there are actually other examples of companies whose product differentiation seemed, so-so maybe on the surface, but were wildly successful. I mean, one example would be Google Search. If you think about Google Search, in the very early days of Google Search, I'm sure many, many people saw a product like that and thought, like this is maybe a bit better than a phone book, but really who cares? This is not a big deal otherwise. It's not like a wow product, especially in the early days of the internet or earlier days of the internet. There's going to be less and less businesses that maybe have their current phone number listed on Google or even have their address or phone number listed on Google. And so that kind of weakened that product in the early days. But if you look at the structure of Google search, obviously with time, with data, with usage, it could become a much stronger product than what was the alternative, which would have been, phone books and more traditional advertising. You could maybe make a similar argument about Amazon as well. In the early days, I'm sure some people said, like, well, why would I bother to buy a book online when I could just go to a bookstore and flip through and browse and read books and hold them in my hands and literally flip through and read pages in them before I make a decision to buy the book. So you could maybe argue, I'm sure some people thought in early days, what's the difference and what's the big deal about online shopping? And for Amazon, there's really not much difference, or maybe even weaker than buying in an actual bookstore. And maybe a third example you could make would be Facebook. Facebook was not the first social media network. There are other social media networks such as MySpace that were existing and existed before that. And so someone might have looked at Facebook and said, yeah, I mean, the product's maybe slightly better, but people can just email photos to each other, and there's photo sharing apps and websites even before Facebook or in the early Facebook days, and ways to connect with your family online. So, I mean, what's the big deal about Facebook? And what does it really offer that's too much different than the rest of the internet is already offering? So just to summarize my points, again, I want to say Lemonade has built what I think is ideal insurance product and platform. And I think one key aspect of their platform is that they attract customers in these unloved insurance realms, such as renters insurance, and then they can grow with these customers, and especially the best lowest risk customers that they find over time. Huge compounding advantage. And it's not going to seem as obvious if you're just looking at bigger products that you're comparing for your own user experience. And then third point I made was that they could become significantly better over time as they grow with these customers, these good customers, and as they also have more and more underwriting advantage for these customers over time. And then finally, just because the product differentiation might seem so-so to some people and from some perspectives over time, doesn't mean that sort of product couldn't, and that sort of the company behind it couldn't be wildly successful over time. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and let me know in the comments what you thought of these counterpoints. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, it's in the bag.